Welcome to Dina Mina show as a part of Digital Health Days 2015. And here in the studio it's me, Dina, my colleague, Mina, and we're thrilled to have our first guest, Jeroen Tas, who is CEO of Philips Healthcare Systems. Jeroen, thank you for your inspirational speech. It's so nice to hear that technology is here and we can do so many things now. And just to follow up on your presentation on stage, can you elaborate a bit more on HealthSuite that you launched recently, what components it has and how it can affect lives of
Yeah,
ours as individuals?
absolutely. So what we believe is that it's very important for a person
Mm.
to basically carry their own health data with them wherever they are,
Mm.
to understand where they are, in their pathway towards better health.
Mhm.
And right now that's not the case because the data is fragmented. It's with the patient themselves, it's in a file with the general practitioner, with specialists, with a psychologist, with a physiotherapist, you can name it. So first we believe that that data needs to come together, um, orchestrated by the patient because ultimately you're the
Mhm.
one who has an interest in the data. So you need to be able to pull the data from these
Mhm.
different sources and then make sure that everybody can interpret the same way. So that's
Mhm.
called normalization, which is
Mhm.
a hard
Yes.
task because
Mhm.
not all the systems are fully compatible.
Mhm.
But then the most important part of it is make it available in context.
Mhm.
So, if I'm a patient, I want to know, my daughter has type 1 diabetes. She needs to manage her glucose levels through insulin. She needs to measure her blood sugars,
Mhm.
know what she eats, stress levels, etc. So it should give her a tool to work on it. But she should know when something is wrong so she can reach out. So it has to become actionable. It has to become actionable for her caregiver because
Mhm.
then the caregiver can say, hey, your blood sugars are high. I look at your data, so maybe you should change your
Mhm.
insulin intake by this, this, and this.
Mhm.
Or in another case, the caregiver can say, hey, maybe we have to change your
Mhm.
medication. So it has to become actionable.
Mhm.
Now, the the different perspectives are also, if you're a clinician, you
Mhm.
may look at much more clinical detail,
Mhm.
but the other information is also relevant. So it's really now about how can we deliver that information in
Mhm.
such a way it becomes
Mhm.
actionable for the care team, for the clinician, and for
Mhm.
the patient.
But first of all, it's about empowering us as individuals to
That's the
own the
starting
data.
point because
Great.
we believe it all starts with you.
Mhm.
It starts with the patient, and we're not all the same. you know, I may be trying to control my blood pressure, and other people may look at different aspects. Some people need to be monitored because they're really sick. So we're all different, but it ultimately is about empowering us to take control of our health with the help of professionals when needed.
Great. Mhm.
So we understand that Philips is a very big player in the healthcare industry, but with that new platform, what role is Philips trying to take? And
Well, we want to be an enabler. We
Mhm.
know we
yeah,
cannot solve all these
no,
Mhm.
problems and these challenges, but we know we can play a role in it.
Mhm.
So we like to help integrating the data. We
Mhm.
like to apply our knowledge of patient monitoring. 250 million people every year get monitored by our monitors
Mhm.
in the intensive care unit and general wards. So we learn a lot about what information is relevant to help patients stay
Mhm.
healthy, and we apply that to consumers. So that's
Mhm.
one thing. Um, the other thing is we're a consumer company. We're out
Great.
there in people's kitchens and
right.
bathrooms, and we want to leverage that position to help people not
Great.
just have a product, but
Mhm.
have a tool that can help them with their health while eating well,
Great.
while exercising, etc. So we're really looking at bringing the world of our consumer franchise
Mhm.
together with our professional health franchise, and thereby empowering people.
Great. So merging two markets.
Yeah.
As entrepreneur, I just must say, how will you scale this solution? How you will reach to all those individuals? How you will make people come and use exactly your health suite?
I think it's always about how you scale it
Mhm.
because scaling a solution makes sure
Mhm.
that you can grow it, that you can do it at the right
Yes.
price point. So,
Yes.
so we also take two angles. We
Mhm.
believe there's a lot of people who are gonna buy an air fryer or an air purifier
Mhm.
or a toothbrush that really helps them manage their oral health. But we also believe that there are people in between. So for instance, we have a product called Lifeline, which is a pendant with a dedicated phone and a fall detection, which we offer as a consumer service. So you pay $30 a month for the service. But we also provide this service as a hospital initiated proposition. So if somebody comes out of an operation, is frail, has to go home alone, we can give them the fall detector and we can give them the button to 24/7 go back to the hospital and get care. So we see it not just as a consumer proposition, we see it also as a medical proposition, if you will. And that's how we want to get scale through both the consumers directly purchasing these kind of solutions, but also the professional healthcare system providing those solutions as and when needed.
Great, thank you.
So your background is from banking. You worked with banking innovation and developments. And I would quote what you said earlier in your presentation, which I found very interesting about sharing your information on the cloud. 20 years ago, you had problems with people using internet banking, and now everybody's using internet banking. So how are you using your experience from the banking branch in healthcare?
So, of course, I learned a lot. I learned a lot about very large-scale systems. So, for instance, we had people questioning what we were doing with internet banking. But we also had people asking me, okay, we have 50 million customers. Tell me how you're going to scale this to 50 million customers, how you're going to guarantee security, how you're going to give sub-second response times when people are doing transactions. So I learned a lot about large-scale, secure, transactional systems. I think a lot of that learning we're applying to what we're doing at Philips. So large-scale data, secure data, sometimes mission critical. If somebody falls, and it takes 20 minutes for us to respond, that person may have died. So we're also looking at mission critical sub-second response times. If we're operating on a person in the hospital and our imaging systems guide the surgeon, we cannot afford, anything to happen, or we cannot wait 3 minutes for an image to load. So we're constantly looking at how do we deal with this very dense data with mission critical short response times and a secure environment, which makes it really interesting.
Thank you a lot for so much inspiration and technological updates as well. So we hope you enjoyed Digital Health Days in Stockholm.
I really enjoy it. I love Stockholm. I think there's a lot of energy here my favorite companies are Skype and Spotify.
Okay. So we hope to see you again in Stockholm.
Okay.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Thanks a lot. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.